Good morning, Vikas. So tell me a little bit about yourself, Vikas.
Okay, yeah. Good morning, Amir. So I'm an engineer by qualification. So I did my engineering from a premier institute of the country called National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli, INIT Trichy for short. Those days it used to be called REC Trichy, Regional Engineering College, Tiruchirappalli. Getting a seat was a prestigious affair those days, and luckily I got one. So and I was very excited. I was born and brought up in Rajasthan, a city called Kota, and now from Rajasthan going to Trichy was what it shift very big. But then the learning I had, the exposure I had was wonderful. And in a way, Tamil Nadu became my second home. So much to learn, so much to improve on. And while I learned the technicalities of the engineering there, but also the culture, the environment, especially the push for English, it shaped my entire way of thinking and speaking. And obviously, the most obvious benefit was the communication skills, which I picked up from there because there was no way but to speak in English with everyone. So the fear, it was nowhere. Then I had a bit of struggle with for a job because I wanted to become a lecturer. That was my passion from the beginning, and I did lecturership in a private engineering college for about a semester. But since it needed a master's and preferably the PhD, which I did not have, so I had to look. It was when my younger brother he got into a software engineering company, and he saw that from the postgraduate course of the CDAC Institute, they were hiring freshers, and it was all about software engineering jobs those days. To encourage me, he asked me to give it a thought. I appeared in the entrance exam, qualified for the course, and through their campus placement, I started as a software engineer with Satyam Technology. And now started from Hyderabad, which was my second home, again, third home, you can say. So the journey started as a software engineer. I switched the jobs. I also switched cities. So, and I was so popular those days that if I switched jobs, I would also switch the city. And those days, I never stayed. I never changed a home, a rented home in the same city. I always used to shift the city itself. So from Hyderabad to Bangalore, Bangalore to Mumbai, Mumbai to Pune, to various companies, I had a chance to start working with the Barclays setup, and I was part of the finance systems operations, and it was a different ball game altogether. So from typical software engineering jobs to support jobs to operations, operations needed both you being technically sound as well as operationally good, plus the management factor, which I didn't have much, but then Barclays gave me an opportunity to pick up. So I started my career at Barclays with a transition of a process from the onshore processes. We brought it down to onshore. Uh, the process was handed over to us, but then we did not have a team. Now it was when my teaching skills came handy, and I started training people on the skills which was needed. So I socialized people, befriended them, and then I started sharing the knowledge. Initially, my well-wishers were kind of skeptical about it as to if I was making myself redundant. By that time, I was lucky enough to have mentors in the same team, so they encouraged me to make myself redundant by sharing knowledge so that I could try and I could be given other chances. And yes, it was true. So as I had many people knowing that the technology which was required for the job, we formed a team. And it helped management also because they did not have to hunt for the talent outside. They were able to form the team well within the same team. So yes, we started off well from one member team. We became 5 member team, then 10 member team. From one process, we added another process. It was a beautiful journey. And then as a reward of it, while the satisfaction was there, I was promoted within the role. It was like stamp of that. It was an endorsement that I was something doing in the right direction. Then my career aspiration grew. Meanwhile, I thought because it had been 5 6 years in the same setup, and from academic side, I did not have a post graduation or a proper professional degree. When I looked at my seniors, they were either chartered accountants or some certified people, or in few cases they were management. So I applied for a management course offline, of course, with my current management's permission. They were kind enough to grant me, and I chose a weekend course. So I registered myself for a postgraduate course in management from IIM Lucknow's Noida campus, and weekend classes started. 2 years flew just by, and meanwhile we also faced pandemic and all. We all had hardships, etc. But then, with the constant encouragement from my mentors, and then I had a chance to start talking to you, Amir, also. So you asked me to not to give up at any point of time, right? And you encouraged me continuously to just give it, keep trying. So yes, with some confidence in myself, with some confidence in the leaders like you, people like you, I went going. now where I am, my MBA is completed. I hold an MBA degree, proper degree, and then
Mm,
at the same time, I thought it was all over. I could retire. It was
mm,
when again people like
mm,
you guys asked me to again put myself to challenge. Why to
mm,
be comfortable in the skin? Why not expose yourself to the challenges well within the organization or outside? So what I
mm,
did, I started looking for the opportunities within the same organization and outside.
mm,
And with some incident, I found a matching opportunity on outside corporate.
mm,
So I joined. I took up their offer. Now recently, from 1st of June, I joined our another bank called HSBC.
mm,
So yes, I'm really thankful that it's so surprising that the journey which looked so tough, but at the same time it was so rewarding. I can say with confidence, pride, Amir, that yes, I find things very similar, and and even my senior colleagues and managers have said that I had the fastest onboarding them, and all
mm,
credit goes to the training I underwent. So, I mean, I can't thank enough. But if I sum it up in my entire journey, uh,
mm,
my my struggle, my learning, and then up in last 6 months, years, or almost 9 months, speaking to you on a continuous basis. I remember those times when I had been just invited for an interview. I was very I didn't have any confidence. That you did a mock interview to me, and you asked me tough questions. You put me on the spot, and I thought you would just give me a guidance. You started asking questions on the spot. Okay, I tried answering, but then it no, somewhere in my mind it struck me that yeah, I should always be prepared with the things like elevator page, the few basic answers. I did not have excuse, so it was again a reflection. I went back
mm.
prepared, again showed my preparation to you. Then you encouraged me. Things fell in order, and now the rest is history. History. We are talking again, uh,
Thank you. Thank you
recalling
so
those
much.
moments.
Sure, sure. So Vikas, tell me a little bit about why you joined the career acceleration program as such, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I wanted to speak about it. So when I looked at the content, so okay, I did not have as such a very high aspiration in terms of the money, because I'm generally a content person by nature. Okay, but the few things, whether I was feeling comfortable in my skin, yes, I was. Whether I was looking for change, yes, I was. Whether I wanted to be seen as a leader, yes, I was. And the trial class, the free webinar which he had offered, it seemed to answer those questions, and few things which I thought was available, uh, it was not. And guess what? I'll be very frank over here. So I thought, I mean, we would talk about general stuff. But then when I saw the kind of the preparation you had put in, the hard work you had put in, the research, to be precise, put in, okay, it wasn't very easy for me to find myself everywhere. So I thought, why wouldn't I just benefit myself from the homework, from the research you have done, which was readily available? I could just simply start following and benefit myself, and I did. So when I saw that everything was ready to be served, okay, for me, I mean, I wouldn't waste time in finding those outside, and I could be lazy, so I might give
Mm,
up in the beginning. So I saw a clear benefit in my, and it has really helped. I mean, what I thought was true. So I wanted to give it a try, but I was very hopeful, and yes, what I thought was true.
fantastic. So
Yeah.
which part specifically in the career acceleration framework did you take out the most from, Vikas?
Okay, two things. Yeah, two things, Amir. So one is the clarity, okay, which is sought from us in the program, okay, because we had so many aspirations, so many complaints, to be precise, okay. You asked us to put down all those things on piece of paper, okay, 50 things you asked us to put down, right, as to what all we wanted. And we know it very well. We struggled with hardly 20, okay. So it made me realize that, okay, I mean, I didn't have many complaints, many challenges. It was about few selective, and I should be aware of them. So the awareness which you created in within ourselves was something I very much liked. Okay, because it allowed us to focus on the real problems, and those problems were something which could be easily addressed. This is one part. Second part, on the things, on the preparation things, the LinkedIn portion. Okay, because for us it was like social networking. I mean, to be honest, I mean, we didn't think more seriously than it was. But then, the kind of tricks and the potential from the LinkedIn networking YouTube, I was very impressed, and the related tools about it. So, and I can say it is a game changer. Okay,
Mm,
all
mm,
one need to do is to just follow. Okay,
mm,
the things are ready, and you in the stats which you shared, Amir. I mean,
less than 1% do those.
Yes.
So it's only about doing. I mean, you start doing things, you find yourself in those, that 1% bracket. What else can you expect from it? So you finding yourself in the 1% bracket, which is recognized officially, almost officially by everyone. So those two things are other than other things like preparation and then confidence, etc. They were there, very important. But for me personally, these two things stood out.
Fantastic, fantastic. So all of this helped you to do what? I know you kind of talked about the point where you managed to get a job. So what happened and how did you get that role and how did you convert it? What was the journey like?
So clarity. So since no, we started talking about clarity. So I knew that yes, I wanted a job which was a different nature, but at the same time, a position where I could leverage my experience. I mean,
Mm,
it would not be that wise to give up on
mm,
the experience and everything I had. Otherwise, I would have to struggle from the beginning.
mm,
Okay.
mm,
So it helped me. The clarity which you had instilled in our mind helped me to stay focused on the job
mm,
which I was capable of doing, which I wanted to do. So
mm,
it helped me filter out the unnecessary attractions or diversions. Okay, I was able to focus on the kind of job I needed, or I wanted. This is one thing. Now the other part, preparation. So all those tips, how to network with people while you are networking on LinkedIn. I know those small, tiny tips like research about the people who are going to interact with in an interview. It helped me, and I
mm,
can quote an incident. So one of the interview panels happened to be someone who I had worked with in the past in
mm,
my first organization, Satyam Computers, and at the
mm,
right moment, I
mm,
I started opened this topic, and
mm.
it changed. It didn't look like an interview anymore. Okay,
Right.
I mean, both of us were put to ease, and it became a conversation because
Mm,
it helped us establish rapport, an element of some familiarity. So it
right.
put that interview at ease. It put me at ease, and now, and I'll tell you what. So the senior person from the panel, he left, and he
Mm,
allowed us to continue talking, and we talked for good 5 minutes. Now, bigger
right.
moment came when I was interviewed by one more level senior. Okay,
Mm,
the head of the operations of the business, and I researched about that lady, and I was able to point the things which interested me the most, and very honestly and very confidently, I mentioned those at the end of the interviews, and she was happy to talk about it. And the rapport we established, I can see that when I meet that lady in person, that shows that
mm,
yes, I mean we had talked and
mm.
we have some rapport. So these are two things. Again, on the two things which I mentioned, I took away, I stood
Yeah.
out to me, but not to undermine other things like continuous preparation, focus on your core aspects. We should be able to sell what we know. Okay, and
Right.
it should be about not it. The interview shows are not like question answer session. It's about
Yeah.
conversation. It's a two-way fit examination. So not
Mm,
only you are trying to fit in, they're also trying to say so. They're also investing. They're equally anxious, keen, not sure. So the familiarity which you had provided us was there. It stayed in my mind.
mm,
And then and also before I forget, uh, so you encourage us to think of these opportunities as or sessions as some attempts, not
mm,
a life or death questions. So
mm.
at the same time, it was clear in my mind that if only everything else worked, they might take ahead my candidature.
Right.
Otherwise, it was just a conversation, and we should just thank each other for the opportunity and stay in touch. So I
Mm,
did not have that fear of rejection at all.
mm,
This is the biggest thing. Otherwise, I would not be able to remain normal. So it's
mm.
helped me remain normal. And when you are normal, things do fall. The odds
Correct.
are more in your favor when things are normal, when you are normal. Yes, overall, it was a wonderful learning, and it enriched my experience and perspective. Now I can say that what I was in the beginning of this session, what I am today, I'm better and more confident, and I'm very vocal about it.
And so that brings me to a very interesting point. This is a good shift. You move from one institution to another institution, similar role, similar capability. But did this help you from a financial? Did it kind of increase your? Give me a percentage of what kind of increment that you saw in your financial benefit.
Okay,
Because
so I can say I am okay. I am so I joined this course about say 6 months or 9 months before. Okay, from here I'm 30% above in my financials within a year's time. So
yeah,
yes, though it wasn't that important, but yes, just to quote figures, and I've done some calculation. So the increment within the same organization, the increment which I received from in the switching process, if I compound them, it stands easily at 30%, which is not a small percentage within a year's time. So
right.
my ROI from this course is really high on the higher side.
Thank you, Vikas, for that. So, Vikas, tell me a little bit about what would you suggest for people who are, in that situation. So, how first of all should they recognize that they need help? Because a lot of people that I interact with actually does not realize that they probably could get help, right, and
Mhm.
get someone to guide them to this journey. What are some of the triggers that you thought when your things that you realize when you see other people, but they're not able to recognize it? What are they?
So, okay, the the realization that they need help. Okay, first of all, it doesn't have to be aligned to what you offer, but they should
Mm,
be aware that they need help. Most of us continue to live in denial mode, and you had also pointed out in the beginning of our journey, right? So that denial mode has to stop, and I don't think others can do much. Okay,
mm,
if we have a problem, for example, in other examples, if we have a health problem, we should be able to recognize that yes, there is something wrong with our health, and that we
mm,
need help, and that we
mm,
cannot fix it ourselves. Okay,
mm,
so if a
mm,
problem, it could be temporary, but if it had persist for say 2 months, 3 months, 6 months in your time, and if we come back to the career aspect, if you are struggling with any aspect of career, not necessarily promotion, okay,
mm,
like not being able to interact with the manager well and sell ourselves well, be comfortable in the job, it means there is a problem, and it's
mm,
okay to be in problem. Okay, so and it
mm,
is okay to be in need of help. So what we
mm,
can help each other is that is why encouraging each other to recognize this, to acknowledge that yes, there is something wrong, and which is okay. It's okay to
mm,
be helped, and if we are able to do that, then you have. Now, in this case, in this career acceleration program,
mm,
the experience which has been been the baseline of this program comes clearly, right?
mm,
So those areas have been highlighted, which are like common to everyone, which are day-to-day problem. Okay,
mm,
things look small, but they can affect in a bigger way. Okay, if we
mm,
ignore for a longer time, and
mm,
I'll tell you again honestly, you did not make big promises in the course. Okay,
mm,
you did not
mm,
quote even high percentage, etc. There's no
mm,
claim. You said if you want clarity, if you want some support, I'm here. And commercially also, I don't think you made it very tough. You said I'm
mm.
available for a talk.
Yeah,
Talk to me first. If not, if you're not happy in one conversation, book another session. Okay,
yeah.
so that shows that this course is not a commercially designed to extract money. I mean,
Mm,
it isn't. Of course, some cost has to be there. Then only some value will be there, but
mm,
it's very nominal. I
mm,
mean, for the fee kind of charge for the fees, I don't think you can and anyone can get value anywhere
mm,
really. So, what and I would rule out the cost aspect of this, to be honest. Okay, cost
yeah.
cannot be a deciding factor for them. Cost is can be, yeah. In few cases, they may be suspicious. Why so big claims? I mean, in terms of the clarity, the thought, etc., are being offered at such a reasonable price, competitive price. But I
Mm,
would leave it to them because there are two extremes of cases. The
right.
cost being high,
Mm,
cost being too low. I mean, we can't do really about it. But
true.
I know, and even in the cost, you have put a thought, okay,
Mm,
very kind of like research thought, I would say. So yeah, I mean, people have need to be aware that they need help, and then people who have benefited themselves from this course need to socialize this. That yes, there is
mm,
a help available, and yes, why don't you give it a try?
sure.
Okay.
And so, because what would be your advice to people who are new and or in their careers, right? So there's a lot of challenges that happen at the early stages of the career because you
Mhm.
jump out of college, and the first year, 2 years goes reasonably okay,
Yeah.
and then you are starting to look up and find. So, what advice would you give to those people, especially to understand from a corporate space, and what would be your advice?
Okay. So I can quote from my own journey. So the way in the colleges we say that seniors are important. Okay, they keep us guided. Okay, and they tell us. I have been telling everyone from more than what we need to know thing, we need to know what we shouldn't be doing. Okay,
Uh,
because for uh, for learning what we should be doing, the the word is full of help. There is the literature, but
right.
what should not be done comes from experience. Only when a person who has gone through the journey, most of the time they have learned it hard way, and
Right.
they are aware that the journey, the hardship they have faced, shouldn't be faced by the people at least in their immediate circle.
Mm,
So,
mm,
I mean, having a mentor, having a senior, be it a college job or a freshers level job in a corporate, is very important.
mm,
Now, personally, I wouldn't say that they need to spend money on that, but they need to spend time in finding a
mm,
mentor. Okay, so my
mm, mm,
general message
mm,
to the freshers, okay, in the corporate world is that find a mentor. Okay,
mm,
show curiosity to learn. Okay, only when
Mm,
you reach out to them, approach them, and you tell them that yes, you want to learn. And
mm,
once you hear something from them, you need to again go back to them to tell them that
mm,
this is what we have learned, this is what we have problem. Report it back to them and seek further help. Or
mm,
then only you will be helped. Otherwise, I mean, there cannot be there cannot be an exchange of valuable inputs and thoughts. Okay, but
mm,
at the same time, if a help is available, okay,
mm,
in a professional manner, why don't you apply for that? Nowadays, even for school level programs, we have help available, professional programs available. At our time, we didn't have. At the most, we had tuitions. Right? Nowadays,
right.
special helps are available, special
Mm,
experts are available. So, change the these are modern times. While it is good to have mentor or guide, coach, well within organization team, and help if a program like career acceleration program is available,
mm,
okay, which is focused on those special problems, and
mm,
no, more importantly, you have people in the same program who are in a similar situation, so it becomes a social avenue for yourself as a learning avenue,
yeah.
and it doesn't demand much commitment. Just once or twice a week classes, some interaction, etc. It's open forum. So yes, I would recommend that people benefit themselves from these programs.
So because I think that's the model that we're trying to build up on the community side, right?
Yeah,
So if people can, need help, they have
absolutely.
not just me to reach out to, but
Yes,
various different
yes,
people in the community to
right,
talk, to get that support. And it's not financial; it's about having someone to just pick up the phone and talk to and know
absolutely,
what can I
absolutely.
do,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. Any last comment, because before we close this interview, any last comments or thoughts for the audience who's going to watch this?
So I mean, uh, it may sound very cliched, I mean, even say, but living with short-term goal, though it's a time of gratification, okay, but it isn't, it's not sustainable. One should have a long-term thought, and it's also realize and realize that the long journey cannot be completed with someone without someone's assistance or company. Okay, you may be very brilliant, be very competent, talented, etc., whatnot, but we'll need help, and you don't need to be waiting for the moment when you actually need help. Okay, that time help may not be around when you actually need it. So even if we are living in normal times, please
Mm,
look around, okay, and mark those areas, those sources or avenues where the help can come from. And if
mm,
you can associate with those avenues, programs like career research programs and anything for that matter, okay, please associate with them so that you have a beginning, okay, and when you actually are in need of help, you have already acquired much of the inputs and assistance when you need it. All you need to do just is execute that. Okay.
mm.
So yes, everyone should be prepared to face any time. And I think if you're that prepared, the destiny will be in our favor normally. Tough times will come, but the duration will not be that much. I mean, at least we will not feel. We'll just pass. So
Mm.
my message to everyone, okay, because who is in the similar journey, just be prepared and seek help. Don't feel shy. Help is available, not necessarily at a cost. And if you get help, please value that. Please follow those instructions, and results are bound to be there in your favor.
Thank you so much, Vikas. It was a real privilege of first working with you, and I learned in the journey as much
Yes,
with working with you. And thank you for
wonderful
this
journey.
time. Yeah,
Wonderful. I wish,
lovely.
and I
Yeah,
hope we'll continue this journey, this association. Such an enriching association it is. Thank you, Amir, for giving me opportunity for this conversation.
thank you, Vikas. Thank you. Same here. Right. Have a great day ahead.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.